My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Adrian, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same, as we continue on, as the Anduin. Our attacks on Rakiberg go well, and from there, well, I mean, we haven't attacked it yet, but when we do, it will go well, and from there we'll head north and take Dane's Halls, the current capital of the Snow Orcs. We shall put them all to the sword, kill all the women and children, and send them back into the frozen north where they belong. And then we'll cut west and take back Mount Gleowine, which unfortunately fell. I say unfortunately, I didn't try to defend it all that well, because I just don't play like that. I'm just not bothered. This army is going to take down whatever we find here, and if that one doesn't, we'll have reinforcements up in no time. We've got the Snow Orcs on the back foot. No need to try hard about it any longer. Not that I ever did in the first place. Adrian will fall. They're about to attack us when I end the turn, and I expect the Snow Orcs will attack us when I end the turn. But do remember that somewhere up here in the misty fog and vast wasteland is a large army of the Snow Orcs, a full banner army, in fact, that spawned because they went down to 3 settlements. And that army will try and support them in some way or another. Now, something I thought was very interesting in the last Anduin episode, t'other day, was I was mentioning, of course, that I'd like to make the Anduin a little harder. Now, there are 2 points that have arisen out of this. First and foremost, I'm not basing that decision on my playthrough of the Anduin alone, and it was disappointing to me to see that some people thought that was the case. I was basing that decision on a combination of my playthrough and the 7 or 8 reports we've had from the beta testers as well. It is not just my changing things up on a whim. The second point, I don't think we're going to win this, but we're going to fight it anyway. The second point was that somebody, on that same theme about the Anduin being easy, somebody suggested that the Anduin is easy, possibly for me, Galu, because I play super aggressively and thus reduces any challenge. And that one has had me thinking all day, to be honest, because I don't think I am super aggressive. I think I am super casual. But therein lies the problem. I think I am. But faced with this new information, that I've had to reflect upon whether or not I feel that actually, in the circumstance, maybe I am quite aggressive. Not very good, but aggressive nevertheless. And I think there probably is merit in that, actually. I probably am quite aggressive. I almost always instantly gather up as much of an army as I can, and I rush some sort of settlement somewhere, which is a fairly aggressive way of playing. I never turtle. Now, the joke, of course, though, is that when I played this game actually in my own time for my own desires, I used to turtle all the time. That is my preferred playthrough. I would sit in my towns, defend my borders, and turn my nation into a bit of an economic powerhouse. But the shift to playing these Total War games for YouTube, I'm constantly concerned that the video needs to be entertaining. And you watching me not fight any battles for like 3 episodes in a row and just sit and wait is not really entertaining. And I would quickly run out of things to discuss and talk about. Our archers are going to be flanked. That's a bloody ball ache. Right, pull those ones back to the square. And archers turn around to do the same. So I've adapted the way that I play, and I now do play relatively aggressively because I am conscious that the video needs to be entertaining for all of you. So I think it's quite interesting to me that spending all this time on YouTube has now created a situation whereby I am considered aggressive. And of course I've had a hand in that. I probably am aggressive. But there we are. That is the interesting little bits and bobs from the last episode. Some of you, of course, questioning why I just let Mount Gleowine fall, but I think I've already covered that earlier. But as a recap, I just don't think that we're going to lose this campaign now, so I'm just not bothered about trying to hold on to it. If I had put more troops into it, I was always cautious that the full banner army under, I think he's called Ugg something, wasn't he? If he comes for Gleowine, no matter how many troops I was able to muster to put inside of it, it would have fallen. So by my understanding, if we know it's going to fall, why sacrifice men to its loss? Now, in the circumstance, the battle for Mount Gleowine, I probably should have won, if truth be told. And was a rather poor reflection on me. But there we are. That is all a by the by. We can carry on. It is lunchtime on the 11th of November. And yes, some of you spotted that the last episode was recorded on the 5th of November, hence why the title was Remember, Captain Gleowine. Was that the ending was adjusted, but in the UK, the 5th of November is a day that is always remembered for the gunpowder plot, as I'm sure many of you are aware, although people outside of the UK may not be aware. Although, actually, with the success and popularity of the film V for Vendetta, which is based entirely on the story of Guy Fawkes, but with, of course, some changes, many changes, I assume a lot more people are actually quite familiar with Guy Fawkes and his story. But the 5th of November is the day that we have Bonfire Night here in the UK, which is what we call it. And traditionally, every person in the land essentially would gather in their towns or homesteads or hamlets. They'd build a fire and they would burn an effigy of Guy Fawkes atop it, so that he will forever be remembered as the person who tried to bring down our nation's ruler at the time by destroying the Houses of Parliament, thus killing both the King and many members of Parliament. That was why he chose the 5th of November. Or was the 5th of November the day he died or the day he was going to do it? But in any event, it dates back to the 1600s when Guy Fawkes was going to blow up the Houses of Parliament to kill our King, predominantly because of the subjugation of Catholicism, if memory serves. We cover it at school, but it's very hazy. I'm fairly certain that at that time, Guy Fawkes was a Catholic, but the King was a Protestant, and the Catholics were being essentially repressed. And so he wanted to bring down the King, but I'm sure there was more to it than religious motivation. And anyway, the King was visiting the Houses of Parliament on that day, so Guy Fawkes and his crew, whose names almost no one can remember other than people who've properly studied it, they were going to blow up the house. And he failed at the last. He was caught and captured in the room with all the gunpowder around him. And he suffered, obviously, a terrible fate. And he was killed, hung, drawn and quartered, I believe. And ever since, we remember him as being a bad guy. But nowadays, we don't tend to burn an effigy to Guy Fawkes on the 5th of November. And instead, we all just go to big firework displays. That is far, far more common. And there's lots of organisations around the country that put on firework displays. Like sometimes local governments do, other times it's charitable organisations do. But it's a big thing. And then on the 5th of November, or the Saturday nearest to it, lots of people go to big firework displays. And also lots of people just buy fireworks and set them off in their gardens, which of course people have done this year owing to the lockdown. Now, as I've been talking, they've been slowly losing to this Orc fighter band over there, but the archers have done the unthinkable, killed the melee force that was attacking them, and are now putting all these Orc hunters to death. I don't think we'll win, though. I mean, once these ones break, which will be any moment now, the archers obviously will get hit in the back. Now, I could turn the archers to try and shoot these, but they'll do arcing shots, they'll kill almost none, and it won't really change our position. But perhaps it is better to turn them around and do that.
Only half the enemy force remains.
No, I don't think it was. Oh, I wonder if you just got a last shot off there. Down we go. Let's just speed it up as this is over.
Our general lies slain upon the
captain's down. We killed 56% of them with our 2 units, so that's not bad at all. I'm not worried about Yulstone, though, which is the town we're currently in, or the village. If Framsburg were to fall, that would be a disaster, but Yulstone, that doesn't matter. We'll capture this quite quickly, and it doesn't serve our nation all that well at the moment in any event.
We've been dealt a stinging
there we are, down they go. Very, very successful. The archer's getting a few more, though, actually, but the Valesman taking 130, that's not bad. Well done all round to the Anduin there, methinks. Well done all round indeedy. Apologies. I have just had luncheon. So I thought that was a prime time to record, but I've got to get it in before I've got to go back to the grindstone. But working from home and therefore being able to, on my lunch breaks in the week, I alternate between recording these videos and going for a jog or for a run. And being able to do those things in your lunch break is such a dream. I so hope I can stay working from home at least 1 or 2 days a week once this is all back to normal. Because it's just so nice. And rolling out of bed at like 10 to 9, turning the laptop on straight away and being at work at 9 o'clock when you woke up at 8:45 is just such a dream as well. Oh, the rebels didn't attack. Interesting. Interesting. We've taken Enethau, that gave us 2,000 gold coins. Queues restored, end of turn, diplomatic. Oh, what's happened here? The following factions are now at war with each other. The Dwarves of Eredun and the High Elves. The Dwarves have broken their alliance with Erebor and Khazad-dûm, and they've declared a truce with Angmar and Gundabad. So it is. That is a little bit of a change that we did make. So in the next turn, we'll get a little message about that. But we made a change to the AI Anduin in that if they side with the rings, if they take the rings, so not siding with Sauron, but if they accept the rings, no longer do they just go neutral. They now go to war with the High Elves automatically, and they get a truce with Angmar. Those two things have been added. Previously, they just got a truce with everyone. So the Angmar thing hasn't actually changed, sorry. But they got a truce with everyone. But that didn't really change the way that area worked. They would often then just re-ally with all the people they previously were allied to. And they keep on... Oh, I should have killed everyone. Oh, no, it's quite Northman. So it'll only hate us for a little while. Whereas now they actually go to war. So it should hopefully drastically change the landscape of Eriador. But it could well mean that Angmar may now come for us with a vengeance. Right, you don't need that many troops in there. Annoyingly, Buralj has not fallen. I was really, really expecting Dale to take that, and I'm very disappointed they've not managed to. The Narrows of Mirkwood have not been reclaimed by Dol Guldur. Castle Doom have Lower Gladden, so we've got them over there. But we do need to take Buralj, but is our army enough? If we cut out here into... there's the net town in the Narrows, and there's Brown Boat. If we cut out down to there, then we'll have Buralj behind us always, possibly knocking on our door. But I think that's got to be the better way to go. Ideally, we want to take Buralj, the Brown Boat, and then end in the Narrows. And then both of these two towns you would hope would funnel towards us. Our army is a bit battered and bruised as well. But aren't there troops in Dwinberg? Yes, there are. I say we just press south. Let's take the Narrows, and then let's jolly well knock on the door of Dol Guldur itself. So, if you would be so kind as to recruit those, and I'll take them in a minute. For now, I will take all of those. And we're heading into the forest. And the entire army is coming with you. So, merge if you can merge. We'll leave behind... an archer, I think, because we've got more archers than line troops there. So we'll leave an archer behind, so they'll hate us.
Yes. Making camp here.
And the two of you will link and head into the forest together. Forest movement is so slow, and unfortunately, the game is not really clever enough for us to be able to set it so that elves are not hindered by the forest. The elves have already got as much of a benefit to moving in forest as they can get, and it's just not enough. You want the elves, of course, to have normal movement in the forest, and basically elves to have normal movement everywhere, because that's one of the key elf traits, which, of course, the Hobbit movies took to a ridiculous degree. Oh, elves are really lightweight, and Tolkien writes about how they walk on top of snow, and they don't even leave footprints. They're so lightweight. Oh, I think a natural extension of that is that they're able to defy the laws of gravity. Oh, yes, completely. Let's have Legolas fly, because essentially that's what he did. I can understand, whilst I cannot agree, I can understand how they made the leap from elves leaving no footprints in snow and being able to walk on top of fallen snow. So they're so light that they don't fall through the snow. But there's a bit of a difference between being light and being able to fly or levitate. Oh, bugger, it's happening already. It is happening already. How much money do we make? No money at all. Bugger. Right, well, Rakiberg's going to attack us in the next turn, and I think we want it to. Do we want it to? King Hazog, what do you get? Black Shield Archers, so he's going to shoot at us. But otherwise, they have no other archers, and we've got an army of archers. So no, we want to attack them before they come at us. And we get to trap them inside. So we're going in. Fastred and the army of the north will take Rakiberg, kill the king of Gundabad in doing so, and then move north and besiege Dane's Hall so that we can start ending Gundabad. Because it does. If Angmar aren't at war with Ered Luin, they're only at war with Bree, Imladris, and the Dunedain. But if they feel capable enough, they will add us to that tally. Absolutely noodly. They don't like us, and our relations degrade almost every turn because of our nation states. Right, we'll just divide the army in half. So how many archers are there? There are 5 of you. 6, 7. Right, so we'll take 4 of you, group you together. Come and stand over here. Thank you for your services to the crown. And then on the other side, we've also got 3 Aethed horsemen who are javelin troops. On the other side, we've got you. So the better archers have gone over here. And then we can split the army up quite nicely, actually, can't we? So you four can come here. Oh, why did the archers instantly go into free movement, but the others didn't? There we are, we want to go over here. And then you four group together and defend these ones. It's shift 1 that you have to press to do that, by the way. So somebody asked me in the video, and I couldn't remember if it was shift or control. When you group units together, normally you aren't able to freely move them like I am there, but for some reason, sometimes it lets you freely move them, and other times it just has none of it. We'll have one general on either side, and they unfortunately have similar portraits, which doesn't help. You can use the hill, but unfortunately, whilst you'd think that would be perfect, and of course it would in real life, in this game, that just creates arcing shots, and again, it's useless. This is the hill you want. This is where you want your troops to go. That's a far, far, far better hill. And indeed, actually, speaking of hills, let's put them all over there. And then to the side. We'll just move them in then as they are. Okay, no, don't fire yet. Cease. Because the enemy does have a lot of troops, so they will actually already be out of the city. And so we want to make sure our forces can prepare to defend our archers. And which general's over here? The one on the right. Right, you link up with them then. And move here. And we've got the archers moving up onto the hill behind. Perfect. The enemy's not coming towards us just yet. Now you guys are sort of already ready. If you want to start firing away, be our guest. Remember, the enemy general will shoot back at us, but no one else will. We don't really want to move our troops in until we have completely used every arrow up. There we are, the Bjornings are ready. So the archers over here, you're firing. We've got Snowhawk spears moving on us there. What's happened over here? Nothing. The enemy is coming for us there. They do have a lot of forces, and the AI does not just stand there and get shot. It doesn't do that. It will always try and maneuver so that it can fight you. So we were always going to have to fight in melee here today. And that's fine. Right, Cav, how are we doing over here? Anyone we can go and throw javelins at? Oh, the Black Shield Archers. Fantastic. Go and stand right on top of them and throw arrows. Throw arrows? If you could just throw your arrows at them. I've seen it done in Chinese mythology, apparently.
Battle goes our way. Let's pray it remains as such.
Snowhawk spears are over there, just lapping it up. And there's Orc Hunters back there. Yes, what are we on? 4% place 30%. That's what we like to see. Yes, javelins. Full javelin might into the general, please. That's fantastic. These archers are very, very good. And I think they're one of the better orc models in the game, to be honest. I think they have a really good visual. And as they just stand still, the javelins prove to be effective. Ah, look, they're not close enough. They've not been throwing their javelins. Right, we got them down. We got them down. That'll do for now. How are we doing elsewhere? They're fighting. None of the archers have been hit.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Alright, so these archers are now free to move up. So we'll move them to there. It's battle line. If you just finished off those spears, don't worry about moving into the city too much just yet. And if you guys can, please shoot at things. How are we all doing over here? Ah, not too badly. Right, come back in range, hit those. Oh, we've lost a unit. We lost a lot more cavalrymen in that army than we needed to. That's alright. Are you all running away? Yeah, perfect. Right, you guys come up the hill here. I want you to turn around like that, and you guys just run wide. We'll get you to shoot them in the centre, which Fastred is already doing with his fantastic Greenwood Foresters. Another good model as well. So let's have a look at these. Right, you guys are lining up, so you can shoot those Snowhawk spears in the back. They're moving in. The javelins, are we all done? Yes, you are. Right, so pull out. How did you do? 45 were left in the end. you're already in range, so start doing what you do best. They're also shooting at something. Oh, the Orc Defender's in the centre. Black Shield Archers are just standing still now. Let's charge into them. I think those units over there have lost more than they needed to. But then these are Woodman Warriors. They are not like Valesmen. So Woodman Warriors, attack of 6, total defense of 9. Unfortunately, I haven't got any Valesmen. But Valesmen are worse than Bjorning Spearmen. So the attack on the Woodman Warriors is about 3 times as good as the Valesmen. We fought with a lot of Valesmen up until this point, which is why it's a good comparison. In comes the hordes of the Airhead. Absolutely fantastic. And the Black Shield Archers, within a matter of moments, fall beneath the hooves of the Anduin. 4 remain, one of which is King Hazolg. Now, where actually is King Hazolg? Is he on this side? Yes, look, there he is, in fact. With his bald head and his large mail, he's gone down quickly.
Have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his men.
I can't imagine that the enemy will now have the strength to continue fighting much longer. No, and indeed, they are pulling back to the square, those that can. So you archers here, come and position yourselves up there. Cavalry, run away. And archers, move closer. So this is the only real fight left. Oh, and they've just broken as well. So pull back, don't chase them. Yeah, let's speed her up. As the enemy runs to the town centre, our archers can now get into the final positions to end this. All of you are free to fire at will. Pick your targets and loose every single shot you have. The enemy is now too weak to properly approach us, I think. So as they try and move closer to us, they'll then cower and run back to the centre. We could just charge in the cavalry and end it, but I don't want to take any unnecessary losses. I mean, again, this is a clear example. YouTube has massively altered the way I play this game to be so careless. When I would play these games on my own, I would be so slow and methodical. Like, so slow and methodical. I was one of the types of people that wouldn't win a game until right near the end of my actual turn time limit. And not because I wanted to play slowly, but just because I played slowly inherently. Whereas now I just don't play like that at all. Oh, look, there's the banner of Gundabad waving. A new banner on their flank, which is pretty cool. Right, now we can send in the cav, because it's only Fastred left.
Never again will the land of my people fall into enemy hands. Our men have taken control. Our men no longer command. If we continue like this, we'll be awed by the victory.
Fantastic. 1,705 orcs fell today, and only 360 men of the Anduin. And the golden sword in this most pivotal of battles goes to Vale Archers on 182. That's so interesting again. Neither the Woodman Trackers nor the Greenwood Foresters claimed it. Woodman Hunters, sorry. They're on 133. Now, it has to be said, the Greenwood Foresters were second with 174. But again, all of the above 100 kills, every single one of them, apart from that warrior just there, all of the others are archers. And then one Woodman Warrior Battalion getting 115. That's fantastic. Skin Changer Battalion over on the far side killed absolutely nobody, which is a real shame. Oh, look, how thematic to have that as a loading screen. Battle of 5 armies, although Beorn is not actually on screen anywhere, is he? But of course he was present at the battle. And has quite a chief role, in fact, of carrying Thorin's body away from the battle. Without that act. Does he carry Philly and Killy as well? I think he must do. Or does he just take Thorin? But anyway, with that act, he ensures that Thorin's body won't be ravaged. Now, this is only a village, but they can still hate us, so I'm going to sack it. You may have noted there was a Gondor barracks there. That's been there forever and a day, and we can't really remove that. Because the game auto decides for some reason to put a Gondor barracks in, and I don't really know why. I mean, it bases it on who created this town, and the Gondor did not create Rakyaberg. And by that I mean in the game files you have to assign a creator to every region so that at the start of the game it knows which pool of settlements to take the visuals from. So this Framsburg is created by the Anduin so that it has an Anduin castle as a look. That's how the basic premise works. Whereas Rakuberg, I don't think is created by Gondor or Dol Amroth or the Northern Dunedain. And yet it has a Gondorian barracks within it, and I just don't know why. Obviously, it's only the UI. It doesn't actually have a Gondorian barracks. Only the UI of one. But still, it's enough for people to report it a lot. There's those hunters there. We can take those out. 203 of them. I'm so tempted to auto. I mean, we wouldn't take any losses if we fight it ourselves. And we didn't take any losses either. Oh, good. Saves a bit of time, doesn't it? Dane's Halls. King Bol's Mug. He hasn't got the banner army we expected to see.
We shall prevail.
And there's the Marauder Chief. Nazkuga Factionaire. He's got a little army. He's got quite a good army there, actually. Framsburg's never going to hold against that. You got anyone in you? Bugger.
Yes, sir.
Bjorn's Halls has got some troops.
Ships ready.
Take all of those. Take the archers as well. Sod it. We haven't the time to be coy. Head north. Get to that town. Let's hope Angmar don't attack us. That would be really annoying.
Yes, my lord.
But you guys can meet up in the forest here.
Yes, my lord.
And you can join them. So at least we've got that army. Oh, someone is besieging Ostingile, and so we can't attack it at the moment. And with Dwinberg being weakened, we still make money. That's all right. What is Rakuberg making? 93. That's nothing. 49 of them. I think we should take those with us. And just leave those two. I'm not really in the market for this place to actually do anything. Oh, they've got a grog hut in a village. We can turn it to our culture, but that's about it, really. But we'll just leave it as it is for now. Alright, let's end the turn and see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Dane's Halls rises to defend itself and they rally out, or sally out. Because I think they've got a reasonable force. And of course the AI calculates what the auto-resolve will do before the auto-resolve happens. So they know if they think they can win. And I think their troops there... Although we only saw a couple of Snow Orc spears, actually. And whilst they are good, they're still not... Oh, they did attack us. Then they have sealed their fate. And Angmar shall be whispered on the lips of those in Middle-earth only once more. And then they shall be forgotten. For in stoking this fire against the Vale, they have sealed their death warrant. Galdor, you wish to join Gleerwine, and I will take you on this time. What the hey hey. What the hey diddly ho ho. Where did you go? Oh, that rhymes. Enethau, did you actually join the army? No. Easiest way to find him is to click on this, actually. What was he called? Galdor. Oh, he's in Bjorn's Hall. Alright, well you try and get down to Dwinberg, see if you can get there in time. I doubt you will, but give it a go. And as expected, Ostingile is being besieged by the forces of Dol Guldur, and Anduin are at war with Angmar. We won't be able to defeat that. And with Goblin Town already besieged, we're losing money, and if we lose it, we will hemorrhage money, let alone lose money. Now, we've got forces there, but we can't reinforce Goblin Town, which is more important. No, look, he's pulled his army back. No, you're going to have to get out here and be ready. Oh, actually, that's a plan.
Yes, my lord.
Grimbeorn, you go, lead that army and go back to Goblin Town. Galdor, you come back to Bjorn's Halls.
We can go no further, my lord.
And garrison up there. We've got a few more troops in Dwinberg, but we'll see what Dol do first of all. Did I take you back to Fenelm? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think you do need to stay in there and just be a governor. You're not really a military commander. Now, that's got 10 turns until it falls. It will definitely have a militia garrison, so there will be more troops if we attack it. But I'm tempted to attack it. Not in this episode, but in an episode, just so that we can see what Dane's Halls looks like. And, of course, I don't want to attack it. I'd much rather siege it for 10 turns and see what Gundabad do. And we'll take far more losses in an assault than we would in a defence. But we're about to lose Goblin Town, but then with Grimbeorn's army, I think we'll take it back. And then if we leave him there as a garrison for that, now the Anduin have decided we are their enemies, Where's our diplomat? It's ever more important that we start forging alliances. They're not going to have it, are they? They're just not going to have it.
Farewell.
Right, we'll try Dale next then. Damn. Damn blast and damn and blast. Oh dear. But there we are. I think that's going to be where we call today's episode. So the Anduin have... the forces of Angmar have come in against Anduin as well. So we've got them to fight now that they are not at war with Lewin. Gundabad will hopefully fall soon as Fastrid and his mighty army brings the fight to Danes Halls itself, and then he can sweep the northern side of the mountains and remove Gundabad as a threat. We hope. Thereafter, our entire military might can turn against Angmar and Dol Guldur. Angmar I am more concerned about than Gundabad, if I am honest. We've got Gundabad by the balls, and we're swinging them round above our head, and there's little that they can do to stop us. But Angmar have had plenty of time to build up. They've been at war for these 37 turns. Their military infrastructure is growing, and they are now at peace with their greatest enemy. So it's going to prove to be a bit of a challenge, but we shall see. But for now, and until we speak again, dear friends, Nevaher na den Perimad Melonin, and farewell.